Hello, welcome back to Literary Gladiators. My name's Madi. I'm Ms. Dzikowicz here on YouTube. I'm here today for the Alphabet Roundtable Read. The letter that I got was H. So in my search for a book that started with H, I came across a book that has been on my TBR for quite a bit, Hummingbird Salamander by Jeff VanderMeer. Yeah, I have wanted to read this. I want to say it's one of his newer novels, or it was published most recently. So I wanted to check it out and I just haven't had a chance to pick it up, but it starts with an H, so it's like the perfect opportunity. Without further ado, let's jump right in. We first start the novel learning our main character is Jane Smith. That's how she introduces herself. That's not her real identity, but this is like a second-hand account of her story. She's like leaving it, like writing it for people in the future to read. So it starts off with her getting some weird envelope from a barista at a cafe that she frequents, which has a key in it, and it kind of then starts this series of events, like a domino effect of like all these different almost like a treasure hunt that really changes her life completely for good. It's really interesting because it almost seems like a mystery novel, because you have no idea what's going on, what this treasure hunt is about, or what it leads to, and Jeff VanderMeer just like adds little snippets, like breadcrumbs throughout the story, like to keep you going and wanting to know like what is the end goal of this mystery. So it's almost like a mystery novel in that sense, but some of the major themes definitely have to do with like nature and like the protection and preservation of nature, maybe even like morals when it comes to wildlife. And I used to follow Jeff VanderMeer on Twitter when Twitter was Twitter, and he always tweeted about, you know, wildlife, nature, just in general, like the protection and preservation of it, and then keeping it wild. And he is very like passionate about that, and I can see it very clearly in this book. Like this is something that he's very passionate about, and in that way it's also, this book was kind of like a commentary about like where we are in the world today, and kind of like a glimpse into the future of like what we could end up in terms of like, because of our actions, the world might look like this, you know, one day. In some ways, this was kind of a pandemic novel. It had themes of like, or it talked about the pandemic, but a pandemic, which I'm guessing was, you know, inspired by the actual pandemic. But in some ways it kind of is like in a dystopian / apocalyptic novel as well, like some themes of that in the novel. So there's a couple different mysteries going on throughout the book that kind of thread their way together, and in the end you can see, or you learn, how connected they are. So it's, one part of it is like a family drama. You know, the woman Jane Smith loses her brother, and that then creates this chain of events that affects her throughout her whole life, and that is then thread into this other mystery, which is the woman who gave her the treasure hunt. She gives her taxidermy hummingbird, which then leads to her like trying to find a taxidermied salamander, giant salamander. Her name is Sylvina. She is very much like entrenched in the world of like the eco-terrorism and wildlife preservation, and like she has this whole idea for a better world and sees how we as humans are ruining the world. So that's this like crime, almost like mob ring, no, this crime ring. That's another mystery that is then woven, and somehow they meet in the middle, and Jane, while like trying to figure out this like treasure hunt to find the salamander, kind of discovers a whole other truth about the family drama. It changes her perception and her understanding of what happened with the family drama. So there was a couple points in the book that I felt were a little slow, just because it had a lot more to do with like these theoretical, abstract, like literal thoughts. But Jeff VanderMeer is able to keep you like on the hook because of the actual like action. Overall, I'd say that I enjoyed it. I would say that some of the writing style, because I think it like was it being told from the point of view of Jane as she's telling it for someone else to read in the future, some of the writing was a little short and like terse, but also that could be because the character, I think it fits her character, her personality. So from her point of view, like that is how she speaks, but some of the language and the way the writing style was a little terse. I like that word, terse. Also because it was an account from Jane's perspective and then being told, I feel like time was a little jumpy sometimes. There was like a point in the book, I think there was like a couple different parts, there's 4 parts, and I think at one part it like jumps into the future and then like kind of rolls back to the present time. So it's, some of the like timelines are a little confusing, but I think going through it, Jeff VanderMeer like clears it up. So overall, I think that if you enjoy you know, topics of conversation about wildlife preservation and climate change and you know, just in general environmental issues, I think that this would be a book that you would enjoy. I think it was satisfying that there was like mysteries throughout the novel and that you're taken on this treasure hunt along with the main character, and in the end there are some truths that are revealed that are satisfying. It's not just leaving you on the hook hanging or just like a cliffhanger, you know, so because that's always frustrating when authors do that. I think that's all I have to say about Hummingbird Salamander. I'm really excited to see what other books were read for the different letters of the alphabet, and if you have any thoughts on Jeff VanderMeer, his work, this novel specifically, please let me know in the comments. As always, I want to thank the Literary Gladiators for having me on their channel and letting me speak about books. Alright, see you guys in the next video.